Hello everybody, today I want to come back with even more Xiao information. 1.3 is getting closer and closer, and with that we're getting more and more leaks from the patch in the beta testers. Right now I have Honey pulled up that has at least one of the best places to see a lot of the information put into one area. It is not up to date completely, and there's some more information I'm going to talk about that's not on Honey yet that has been talked about in leaks, in group chats, about Xiao and what's changing in his character kit. And there's actually a lot of different changes. There's actually one change I forgot to really highlight in my last major update video. So there's going to be like a big 1.3 preview of Xiao, things that are changing, things that are coming, and this new information will set a lot of this new information will set the stage for a lot of my future Xiao videos. When I'm talking about builds, I'm actually going to redo the weapon video because there's new information that will affect which weapons are better, which weapons are worse, and some of the weapons that became a bit more viable, and some that fell out even more, as well as a lot of math that I've been doing just looking at Xiao's character, or Xiao, his character, and just, yeah, so without saying anything else, before we get into it, please like the video, comment, subscribe. Please subscribe. I know a lot of people are really interested in Xiao, and I'm interested in getting the best videos out, all the information I can, and just talking about Xiao, what I'm doing to prepare for him, what items I'm building to prepare for him, what items I'm hoping to pull on banners, everything just for him. So if you're interested in that, subscribe. My channel is the place to be for this information. All right, so getting into it, let's look at Xiao. One of the biggest things to notice is that a Nemo damage percentage, which has been his Ascension stat for a long time, the numbers have lowered, I think, rather drastically on this website. However, from what I'm hearing, that these numbers are actually not going to be a Nemo damage anymore anyway. This actually will become a crit rate Ascension stat, meaning that he now will have a natural crit rate, meaning you could really focus your crit damage as your circlet's artifact stat. This is also going to be similar to how Diluc is. I know a lot of people really love Diluc as a main DPS and really like the fact that he does build natural crit rate on himself. That way you're not as focused on crit rate on his artifacts and you could just go a bit harder on crit damage. It does look like Xiao is going to be similar to that. What I can say about this, though, is yes, having higher crit rate is good for him. However, they're really taking power away from his ultimate and spreading out through his entire kit. Yeah, that's one of the biggest things I want to mention. That, yeah, it looks like they're taking power out of his ultimate, putting it into the rest of his kit. So his basic and normal attacks are going to be better. He's just going to be better all out to play. But his ultimate time will be weaker because of the Nemo damage, not having the Nemo damage bonus. But yes, I do think there's an overall nerf in my opinion. Even if some other areas are getting buffed, I think the nerf is going to be bigger on his ultimate than it will buff up the rest of his kit. The biggest reason I say that is because I absolutely believe that yes, a Nemo damage, yes, crit rate's really good, but I see crit rate really easy to build up in substats. Sure, you might have to farm for the perfect artifacts, but I do think over time, crit rate is easy to put into artifact substats. There's even some weapons that are going to be extremely good for Xiao that crit rate goes directly into. So I think there's other good places to get crit rate from, where it's only one thing that's really giving you Nemo damage, and so I think overall his kit will suffer a bit for not having that Nemo damage bonus. I don't think it's gonna be make him garbage. I don't think it's gonna even make him bad. I think he's still gonna be an S tier DPS, dealing crazy amounts of damage, but it's just gonna be a little less damage than before. And the build again will be a little bit easier to get. There's actually one more thing I want to talk about. As far as his damage numbers go, let's actually pull him up on Genshin.gg. One big reason why I like having both Honey and Genshin.gg open is because Honey, for Xiao at least, still uses his really old stats from CBT2 and not his most recent ones from data mines and leaks from the latest information. So if we look at this, we can see all his normal attack numbers have been increased. Let's see, it goes from 24 to 27, and I kind of talked about that in my first video, but what I didn't talk about is that his plunging damage is actually nerfed. it has a higher low but a lower high. So your average, you're always gonna so no matter from what height you're plunging from, you're gonna be doing more damage than the lowest possible, but you'll never get as high of the damage as your max plunge. That's important for the next thing I'm going to talk about that I did not cover in my first major update video. However, I think that was completely a miss on my part because it was really important to talk about, and that is this: normal attack and charge attack damage bonus. I didn't think about it. I just glossed over it, but because it's only bonus to normal and charge attack, no longer is he gonna be a plunge character. Like when his plunge was his charge attack, that's what made his plunge so good because you were getting all this damage bonus added on top of it. However, it currently, at least, again, take this all with a grain of salt. There's always a really big chance this changes before he goes into live. The wording might change, the way it works might change. Maybe even his plunge attack is going to be like considered during ultimate considered a charge attack. Who knows what it's gonna, if anything changes. But at this current moment, this says that it will not be giving bonus damage to his plunge anymore. His plunge will still have that increased AoE, but it does not say that. It only says normal charge attacks are going to get the bonus damage, and if it stays this way, that means the plunges are going to be the weakest part of his kit, but they're going to provide a lot of AoE, because if anyone's seen the gameplay, it is really big AoE on his plunge, but this won't be it won't have the damage that it had before. You'll no longer see people like 10-second plunge attacks just wiping out an entire map. Instead, you're going to see plunges being used, sure, but like the main power in him will actually be moving more towards his normal attacks and away from his plunge attack. Again, his jumping ability is still being increased, so he's still able to do that plunge, but at this point I can't say for certain that his plunge damage is going to be increased along with the rest of his damage. And I think that's a really important thing for people to take a note. Again, all this could change, all this could be wrong, but I do think it's important for the community to have their expectations set, to know what could be a possibility. Like, again, even with the Anemo damage to crit rate, this isn't 100% certain yet. Things can change. With Zhongli, his Ascension stat changed the day of release. So again, it is possible that this changes, but I do want everyone to have the most information possible. That way no one's blindsided by any of this once it comes down to his release. So yeah, that's the big thing that I want to talk about. His normal attack and charge attack damage bonus actually wouldn't apply to his plunge attack, meaning his plunges won't be as crazy strong. All they'll get is that AoE added, and then his normal attacks will become way more important, way more viable. And because his normal attacks become more important, the weapons he's going to use will actually be different. In my weapon video, I talked about the Crescent Pike not being the best weapon. One of the things I was considering in my head when saying that was the fact that it doesn't proc when you plunge. That has no effect on your plunges, so its biggest effect, absolutely useless at that time. Now, though, if your normal attacks are more important, yes, it gives you physical damage, but I ran the numbers. I might... let me put that down. That's different numbers. Nope. Right, here we go. I ran the numbers. And the Pike was outperforming the Grudge at every chance it had. Even with the bonus damage, the damage bonus of the Pike's proc plus the damage that Xiao will be doing anyway was out damaging the Grudge alone. And yeah, it was only by like 300 to 400, but here you see it's a difference of like 700, almost 1,000 damage. This isn't considering artifacts. That gap will just get wider and wider once you get better and better artifacts. I think that's a really important thing for me to point out. If his plunge attack will no longer be getting this bonus, then I don't think his plunge attack will even be his main core gameplay anymore. I really think his normal attack combo will become much more important. Again, we'll have to wait to see how he actually looks, how he plays, and what this bonus is once he comes out. But I do want this information to be out there so people can have this in their mind. Especially when he comes out, people are going to think plunging is his gameplay, and if that bonus isn't being passed on to his plunge attack, it's gonna be a really big like shock for people. Everyone will have this thought in their mind that plunging was the way to go, and it might not be. And so yeah, that's the main goal of this video, is that to cover the Nemo damage being changed to crit rate. That's really important, and then to also cover the fact that currently the wording does not suggest that it's boosting his plunge. However, I have not heard any major information about that coming from the leakers, so there's a chance that this is gonna be fine. This is a non-issue. This plunge damage is increased, but there's also a chance that it's not, and I think everyone should be aware of any chance of like major changes, especially because this information like severely will affect what I talk about when I talk about the artifact you're going to be building for him. And I'm going to make a second follow-up video exploring every other some other weapon options that you can build. And if plunge isn't his main thing anymore, much different weapon options and artifacts should be considered than versus if it is. But that's all I got to cover today. Thank you. I hope I gave you some more information, some new information. If there's anything else, any questions you have, just let me know in the comment section. I'll answer them to the best of my ability. I try to stay completely on top of all of Xiao's information to give everyone the best information possible. And if you're interested in that, please like the video, subscribe to my channel, as I'll continue to post information whenever I can. Alright, and then yeah, look out for more Xiao videos in the future. Thank you and have a good day.